मैं शेयर नहीं कर पा रही हूँ। वो होस्ट अभी संजय सर है ना? हाँ मैंने किया। होस्ट संजय सर है एक्चुअली। को होस्ट कर सकता है। को होस्ट कर सकता है। मैं अभी को होस्ट भी नहीं हूँ एक्चुअली। आई डोंट नो क्योंकि मैं
Dr. Anshul, can we kindly wait for 2 minutes? Please, let's wait.
Yes, ma'am. Now we can start. Session is live. Or yes, Kanchan, ma'am.
Ma'am,
You are host.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it is giving me extreme pleasure to welcome you all on the day 2 of our online faculty development program on research excellence and academic writing. So on the behalf of School of Education, K.R. Mangalam University, I warmly welcome our respected speaker, faculty members, researchers, and all the participants from across Haryana and NCR. So today's topic is research excellence and academic writing. So this research excellence and academic writing, they are the twin pillars of scholarly success, wherein research excellence refers to the pursuit of high quality, impactful, and innovative research that combines meaningfully to the knowledge and society. It requires critical thinking, ethical practices, medium thought, which education is communicated effectively. So it demands clarity, coherence, accuracy, and adherence to disciplinary conventions. So together, they both ensure that research is not only conducted with integrity, but also shared in a way that informs, influences, and inspires. So with this idea in our mind, it's my honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Professor Ananda Pradhan, a distinguished academician and researcher. So he brings with him a wealth of knowledge and experience in the field of education and research with a deep commitment to academic excellence. To formally invite Professor Pradhan, I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Shikha, to kindly introduce our speaker for the day. Dr. Shikha.
Thank you, Anshul ma'am, for giving this opportunity. Professor Anand Pradhan is the professor and head at the School of Education, APG Satya University, Gurugram. He has over 30 years of experience in teaching and research, including teaching in Ethiopia and Eritrea. He was in the first group to qualify NET in education in 1985. He has guided 39 students at Master of Philosophy and PhD in level. He teaches research methodology and is PhD course coordinator. He has written 4 books and published 43 research papers. He has taken part in 75 conferences as a speaker, chairperson, and resource person. He also helped create an exam paper for various competitive tests. He received the Shiksha Ratan Award for his excellent work in teaching and research. We are honored to have him with us today to speak on research excellence and academic writing. Please welcome Professor Anand Pradhan. Sir, please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shikha. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you, KRMU School of Education team. That is the FDP team. Is it? Hello? Voice is clear?
Yes. It is audible now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I thank you for the FDP team, ARMU, for inviting me for this faculty development program. And it is, I'm also happy that I'll be getting an opportunity to interact with about 100 participants, because as I see, 98 participants have already joined, which is a very, very sizable number. So it's a great opportunity for me to learn and also to help others, whatever I can do academically in this forum. So as regards the topic, we'll come to that. But now I can share that. The right is given to me, the sharing the screen.
Yes, sir, just give us a second. And also you'll be happy to know that the program is being live streamed on YouTube. So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are many more participants.
Yeah, man. Oh, so nice of you.
The FDP has over 175 participants registered, sir. And we are giving, yes, sir. Now you have the co-host, right, sir? You can please go ahead.
Is it visible, the screen? Not yet. Okay, wait.
Not yet, sir.
Really, I'm unable to see the share option. Share option is not coming.
Um,
Can you check?
I'm checking it, sir.
So you do have co-host rights. Would you want us to play your PPT if you're comfortable?
Now that can also be done, but I think you do not have this now, that I have not sent you.
Yes, sir. Actually, we have given the co-host rights to you. I think.
You have given. Let me check again.
Sir, for sharing, you have to keep the PPT open. Do not minimize the window.
Yeah, no, that PPT I have kept it open. It's open. Only thing I'm not finding the share.
You can share it with us. We'll play if you are fine.
Okay, now it is coming. That also. It came somewhere.
Yes, it's visible now, sir. Done, sir.
Now it is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
The end one. Okay, so now I think we should begin. Coming to this topic, research
So we
excellence.
can put the slide on slide show mode.
Slide show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Visible now?
Yes, visible.
You can start, sir.
Yeah, sure. So this today's theme of this FDP, that is research excellence and academic writing. So if you see this, it has two parts. One is research excellence, the other part is academic writing. And academic writing does contribute to research excellence. So if you put it in the form of a part of research problem and as part of variables, then academic writing will be the independent variable, research excellence will be the dependent variable, isn't it? Because if somebody has good academic writing, that capability, certainly to some respect, it will contribute to research excellence as well. Now, as regards research excellence, more or less we know it as regards the quality, because excellence also involves the quality. We'll come to the detail subsequently. This is the preliminary discussion. So just I would like to quote here that some 3 months back, from there was one professor that is you might be knowing also, Professor D.N. Sansanwal. He had analyzed so many theses in education, behavioral science, social science, and other, and have identified how, where the lacuna or the mistakes, deficiencies have been there by category wide, like introduction, review, methodology, and other, and published article in 2 consequent sequence in University News. And you know that University News has a greater reach. So in case you get chance, you can refer to that. And lot of things he has identified that. Now, where did he get this thesis? So he got this thesis from this Sodhganga, that is in that InfluNet, which is the host of InfluNet is Gujarat University of Ahmedabad. From there, and he had analyzed those areas, and he had given number of things that how in India we find or we commit mistakes or sometimes ignore deficiency, you can say. So that way. So now the purpose is that we need to bring out as far as possible the quality in research, which will ultimately contribute to the excellence. And for that matter, we do need to write, improve our academic presentation also, which comes finally in the thesis form. But prior to that, we have also the research proposal, which also we call synopsis. So if a good research proposal is prepared, automatically it will lead to a good thesis and bring out excellence as well. So definitely, if the step is good, the first one proposal, then automatically it will be improved. So the implication here is that rather than being a very hurried form, we should create the research proposal in a very good, clear form and so on. So that, and those things in the, well, starting from the research proposal as well as from the thesis point of view, we should bring out which are the parameters that we should consider for bring out the quality that we are going to see in this presentation. So first part will be on research excellence, then the academic writing. Okay. Now, before that, why we conduct research? Normally, we say that this concept of research, usually that it is something that if we come from like a layman point of view, something we innovate or discover something new, that is research. Yes, it is. But beyond that also, this concept is a little broader. So first is that discovery of new facts and knowledge. So if you see that different kind of textbooks, reference books and other, ultimately what they contain? They contain the knowledge, facts which are true. And ultimately now where from these facts and knowledge have come? They have come from a research accumulation. So in other words, the main contribution of research is to discover the new knowledge or enrich the existing knowledge. Then beyond that, there are other aspects which also we consider in research, like revision of existing theory and practices. Because the knowledge gets old or something new new ideas, new phenomenon has come, which is better than earlier one. So then in that case, somebody had discovered, then we can say that this revision of existing theory, new theories have come and other. So like these days, we talk a lot on artificial intelligence, isn't it? So that is also through research only those things have come in the field of information science. Then exploring new applications of knowledge. Something has been discovered, but its application to other. Now, there is an ever-growing application of AI concept. It is coming to every field, healthcare, then library science, many other fields. Almost it is every field that is coming upon AI. The next is improving existing products, practices, and policies. This is related to the products that, and particularly material science, technology, discovery, and other. Isn't it? These days, you get an intelligent washing machine, which take care of, once you start everything, it will take care. Automatically, it will wait how much and the time it will fix. So new products are coming, much more products. And these days it is too much hot. Now new types of ACs are coming. You can operate through your mobile phone, through Wi-Fi. So all are the new things coming. So all these are part of the research. Something that is coming very new, it was not there earlier, or something was there, but they are giving an improvised form. Or it has been there, but you are extending to a new application. So all these things do come by the research. So that's the broader meaning of the research that we come. So in other words, when we conduct a research, not necessarily that very already novel thing that will be very distinct one will be considered as a research and the thesis will be. It's not necessarily like that. Now, in this context, if we see the census report, first of all, then, if you find anything to convey or ask questions or clarification, you can ask so that you know that it is a little more interactive. Although at the end we'll deal it, but in between, if you feel so, you can ask certainly. Okay. Now, understanding the research excellence. From the terminology, we come to the excellence. So the excellence in the context of research is something that is of high quality, which has originality, significance, rigor, impact, that is the post-research impact, and that the research outcomes make substantial contribution to the knowledge and society. That's very important because ultimately, something that we are innovating, something that we have found out how it is going to help in our policy measures or going to be used by the people or helping the people to make life easy or improving their well-being, all aspects somewhere or so, it is contributing. Now let us try to understand a little more on this, that what we mean by high quality. That is, the research is conducted. In between, I am admitting and so many people are joining. So because being host, they are asking for admitting and without time, I am admitting also in between. That's for your information. Like Dr. Speta is joining now. Okay, so I keep continuing that. So high quality. This is research is conducted with the highest standards of scientific rigor and methodology. So the rigor, the procedural aspect, means critical review simultaneously that continues, and the methodology, proper methodology of research that we adopt. And in research methodology, you have studied many things. So now I will not be dealing with those what is methodology, how this thing, those which are related to this aspect that are relevant to the topic, those will be considered actually, because you know that some of you are already done PhD, some are doing, and we know some of it, and we learn further. And research is something that is ever growing. It doesn't come all of a sudden. It is by experience. And in this presentation, I will also utilize my exposure, experience, and reading. From my own experience also, I will add whatever I can. So that is to bring out which sound methodology and scientific rigor, which can be open for criticism also, and you will be able to defend also. Then originality, yes, because what is something that newness in that research? Normally, in the Viva and other they ask also. So originality, it addresses novel questions or new questions that provide new insights into the existing problems. So many people joining actually. So a little bit I am diverting my attention there also for your information. So it addresses novel questions. So where do questions come in the research? Anybody would like to throw light? Where do you focus that the research questions? And how do we put in a research proposal? Anybody would like to tell? Because normally in a proposal, we put it, the research question, we do write that these are the research questions or hypothesis. And hypothesis, prior to that, of course, the objectives. So they do speak about what we are going to find out. So, and are they really something will be contributing? Are they new something? In the form of that we discussed in the previous slides. So I am talking about the census that we have every 10 years. Can we call the census report a research? Anybody would like to, if you want to talk about that annual 10 years, every 10 years we conduct the survey. Certainly, it is a very certainly a very good example of research. It is research. And it is the type of research is survey research. And for your information, this is the example of research which is based on the whole population, not the sample. So it is much more credible, much more credible. Findings are much more credible. Because if a child is born today and somebody, the visitor, normally the school teachers come, then he or she, the child, is also part of that census. Similarly, a person who died today and that after that the person has come to collect data, he will be out from the data. So census is a research. And you see, after we get the census, it takes 1 year time for the collection and other thing. And after that, for about 8-10 years continues on that data. So many further researches are conducted on that. So many policy implications. So certainly, census is a very good example of research. And many you can say sub researches are conducted after that, which you can say based on secondary data, isn't it? But census is again based on primary data, much more credible. So what is that something original in the research? So that will come through in your proposal through your objectives, hypothesis, and if they are research questions. Then significance. We do mention in the research proposal as significance, like in the form of significance of the research or rationale of the study. Or sometimes if not separate heading is given, they are given in the introduction part. But if we just cannot avoid significance. It will be there with a separate heading or insight. So because that will talk about the vital contribution, what it is going to contribute in the field of addition to the knowledge or enrichment to the knowledge. The next impact. It is after that, because we are talking about the quality excellence. So once the findings are there, then what kind of impact it will be having? It demonstrates an impact on any scientific understanding, new theory, contribute to the knowledge field, policy. In framing of the policies, like if you remember new education policy, 2,50,000 plus suggestions were collected before it came in the 2020 and started being implemented from 2022, isn't it? So those all have been analyzed. And then it is in front. So therefore, and lot of their views have been taken and then policies have been taken. So therefore, it has policy implications and itself is a policy after that. But that also came after some research. The second one, NCT has also about the new 9 teacher training programs has invited suggestions, pan India, to contribute. A red line is over. So based on that, again, what their changes they are going, that has also come. So not necessarily when we say research, it is very, very of something very sophisticated and other. It can be very simple as well as very sophistication. But in both aspects, quality or excellence has to be there. Then contribution to the practice or the societal well-being, which we have discussed. How it is going to help our people, society, or having a society that is of discipline or establishing a proper social order. Then next is recognition. Recognized nationally and globally for its quality and contribution. Yes. And that we done through the dissemination, the citation that we talked about. So it's not only the recognition nationally or internationally as well. And if you see that in our India, you know that none of our institution or university come in the top 100 of Currely assignments, that top ranking of the universities and colleges. So in that case, why it is happening? Is it because of teaching? It is not. It is because of the research which we are talking about. It is the excellence in research and other. Because research has a very high component weightage of marks in this. So therefore, that is the major deficiency, or you can say for which we do not, as on today, stand in the top 100 of those ranking. So government is doing that National Research Foundation, other things are coming up, talked about in this new education policy and other. And for you have also chosen a topic to strengthen that viewpoint. So thank you for that. And also my compliments, because what government is focusing and what we need today in India, that you are also topping and we are together for that. So thank you very much for that. Now next, if we talk about that quality contributes to excellence, then how to bring out those quality, which are the steps? It is not the complete thing, but the main things. Clarity in objectives, where we need to talk or define well-defined objectives, provide a clear directions for the research, ensuring that all aspects of the study are relevant and important. So prior to that objectives, you have already set up your research problem. So the objectives should reflect your research problem. I mean, they are derived from the research problem. Normally we talk about research topic, what's your research topic like that? But in research point of view, research huge. Actually, it is a research problem. But normally we do use as a research topic. So objectives based on that, and it should not be that is which we have not talked in the research problem, which do not cover, those which are not relevant, those which should not be part of the objectives, which we can conduct and which are relevant, all things are to be seen. And of course, you know it that a very rigorous process goes for finalizing even a research proposal also through doctoral research committee, doctoral advisory committee and other. So all aspects of the study are relevant and important. Mean no objective is irrelevant. They are relevant and important. Then clarity in hypothesis or research questions. I put this oblique hypothesis or research questions. So normally in descriptive experimental research, we have hypothesis, but many times in qualitative research, like literature study or language, sometimes part of journalism, it may not be that we can set up hypotheses because they are not possible to set up the hypothesis because hypothesis requires a certain kind of statement. So in that case, we can frame research questions. And those research questions later on we answer. But in some theses and some researchers mention both these also. So as such, if experimental study and hypothesis are there, it is not necessary that you can put research questions again. But if you put or give research question also, no harm. People do give. But the point is that while analyzing, if you have put that one, both are to be answered. Otherwise, it will be treated as deficiency. Because since you have mentioned that, if your nature of study, actually, your nature of study depends upon how, whether both are required at all or not. If you are doing an experimental study, like as you do in behavioral science or health science, life science and other, there may not be need, where you need to the clear-cut answers to the hypothesis. But in stating that whether questions are this hypothesis, avoid vague research questions. Sometimes which the research scholars make the mistakes are that about that hypothesis, THESES. They will have 5 hypotheses, but will write in the heading SIS. So that is wrong. Hypothesis is if single, otherwise make it hypothesis. SES is the plural form. So in that, hypothesis has to be crystal clear, where avoid vague research questions or the hypothesis. Make hypothesis simple, testable, justified. There are many criteria of stating good hypothesis, but see how it is saying that it is very, very simple, which somebody can understand. No complex. Never combine many, many variables into 2 things. Rather make more hypotheses. Sometimes the researcher make hypothesis and then sub hypothesis. That's a good way actually, rather than making complex. If you are combining, say, when you say state hypothesis, 2 variables between that we do, or 1 variable or a combination effect of some variable. So it is like 2 variables. But if you say that there is a relationship of so and so, and you are mentioning 3 variables, so how you are going to test that later on? Because in hypothesis, what we do? We accept or reject. So in that case, we do face the problem actually. Many types here in researcher do makes in stating hypothesis actually. So no complexity in stating the hypothesis. Now other questions come that, do I need to state only the directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, or only null hypothesis? It is up to the researcher and the nature of the study. Maybe the research is such that directional hypothesis can be set out. It gives a review of literature, gives a kind of way, direction. So in that case, it is possible. Null hypothesis comes where the review, the research gap doesn't give anything. We don't know actually. So in that case, so there is no set of rules like that. There are so many hypotheses should be there, so many objectives should be there, or that there should be a mixture of directional and non-hypothesis, all hypotheses can be directional, all can be non-directional, all can be null, or mix of two hypotheses, null, one hypothesis, directional. It is possible. But the point is that it should be simple. You will be able to testable. How do you know that you will be able to test? Are you getting the data for that? So all research is something, every step is interrelated. The moment you start preparing the tools for collecting the data, you need to refer to objectives and hypotheses. There are cases also where the researcher gets the data collection over, tool development over. After that, while analyzing, it finds that not able to test the hypothesis or not able to answer to a research questions. This happens because at that time it was not taken care of, or content validity of that tool, rating scale, questionnaire, checklist, observation schedule had not been validated. So this kind of problem do occur. So every step we have to consult, or we have to be very, very critical to bring out quality and excellence in the research. Then thorough literature review. We'll talk little more on literature review, and I'll towards the end, after academic writing, I'll deal little more on literature review also in this presentation. So it is that when we make literature review, we make the variety of databases we search. All of you know, no need of going, because these days digital things are being there. There was a time some 30 years back where people used to carry एक बैग, गांधी झोला जिसको बोलते थे, उसी में कार्ड्स होते थे और लेके लाइब्रेरी घूमते थे. आजकल तो क्लिक इंटरनेट सर्च से मिल जाती है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन विल बी दैट इतने डिफिकल्टी में और आजकल इतने इजी, it has become easier to get this thing at home also. Why then the quality has not been enhanced? So there are many questions on that. Actually, people used to a lot of time taken during that time for conducting research, because computer, internet, those things were not there, or if it was there, some analog computers were there. So we do review. First of all, that literature review. Literature review. It is a part and parcel, essential component of any type of research. Essential component. In other words, you just cannot avoid review. Now you may ask, I am innovating something new. So where do I get review? I did not get anything on review. So your research proposal is less. Nothing is there. Even zero review. What will do in that case? Now in that case, there is no need of writing a chapter 2 on review of literature or adding to the introduction part. But somewhere or so, you need to mention that, yes, I tried such so many things and other, but there are no review available. Nothing has been conducted on this. You will be appreciated. You will not be criticized on. But somewhere also that mention has to be there in the thesis. So we do conduct relevant studies, then identify gaps in the existing knowledge and link it to the research and hand. How those reviews are related to our current research. Now, after that, continuity, that one, after review. And also in people normally ask that how many reviews? I have to write 30 reviews, 40 reviews, and like that. It's not, there is no fix on that. It can be 2 reviews, no review, or it can be, say, 50 reviews or 150 reviews. Now the question is, suppose you have got 150 reviews. Do you need to mention all that 150 reviews? Not necessarily. In that case, what you need is that, just a minute. Okay. So in that review, if much more reviews are there, then you can go for the latest one. Or the earlier one, of course, summary we do. But if it is so many reviews are there, you can go for the latest one. And then something comes also that you think that if I do not do so many reviews, then I may be questionable. It's not. Like suppose you have done 120 reviews and you have mentioned in your thesis that I have done, and you think that you will get credit for that. But sometime it may happen that your examiner or somebody, some expert may ask, so 150 reviews you have done, well and good. But then if already so many studies are there, then why do you need to conduct this study? And you are answerable to that. So what I'm trying to say, justify is that there is nothing like any kind of number of reviews is required and so. It's not. It's you need to justify it, that one. How many available, how they are related to your study and other, which is discussed. Okay. Now, appropriate methodology. Method to be also sound. So select the research method that are appropriate for the state objectives and research courses. Through that methodology, research design, which will include your tools, data collection tools, then your sampling, analysis, statistical tool, all this. Through by using that, will it be possible that you will be able to answer or those hypotheses, test those hypotheses, or answer to the objectives of the questions? So do we need to appropriate methodology, whether it is descriptive research? There are various descriptive research, whether it is simple survey, correlational studies, longitudinal studies, causal comparative studies, ex post factor research, all are descriptive. Or whether it is experimental research, historical research, philosophical research, whatever that means. So that one, or coming to the approach, whether it was a pure quantitative or mixed research, where you have utilized the quantitative and qualitative data. Then data collection analysis, develop, adapt data collecting instruments that are reliable and valid. Now the question is develop and adapt. Anybody will throw light on adoption of tools? Because data collection will come later on. Before that, the tools. Suppose you are doing you have a variable. Let us say self-esteem. And you get self-esteem scale, which is latest, 4 or 5 years back or so on. And it is a psychological trait. It will not change much. Then do we need to prepare another self-esteem scale? Not necessary. Why do we need to prepare that? Because something is available. And that is latest. As it is, you can use it. By giving the credit, you will mention that year, another thing. As it is, maximum inside the methodology, need to mention that reliability, validity, coefficient, what are there. 8 dimensions describing that. That's enough, fair enough. But if you are getting a self-esteem scale of, say, 20 years back, maybe something has changed and might have been changed, and there will be. So in that case, do we need to again prepare a self-esteem scale afresh? May not, but you can adopt that. Adopt that means some changes that you have done it in that adoption. And you are revalidating it by finding again the reliability and validity. So that is with little less effort, you can do that. And that is also acceptable. So that's also fair enough in that. But particularly related, we are talking about that standardized tools and other. But if you are using questionnaire as a data collecting tool and other, then in that case, probably you may require to so many people join actually. You need to have it the content validity and reliability aspects of the questionnaire. Because questionnaires, these profiles are frequently changing, unlike psychological traits. So in that case, but it doesn't mean that in questionnaire also you cannot adopt. You can adopt there also. So ultimately, it depends upon your nature of study and your requirement. But these things we do need to mention about the reliability and validity. As regards questionnaire, validity is a must. Reliability also you can find out, but validity's importance is much more than reliability. The reason, reliability is that frequent occurrence. That means that internal consistency or that same results we get on successive testing, isn't it? But questionnaire, the variation will be there because people to people variations will be there. So therefore, validity carries much more importance in questionnaire as compared to the standardized tools actually. To some extent, it can be overlooked. But in the validity, so cannot be overlooked. Validity cannot be overlooked in questionnaire. Because that is the data that for the objectives, fulfilling the objectives hypothesis that you have selected. Okay. Now that comes based on that, then we'll be collecting data and other thing on qualitative, quantitative experiment. Then validating and verifying the results. Ensuring that the results are internally consistent and logically sound. What happens? Something that we have stated earlier. Because what happens? Data analysis, then recommendations and all this make. We have reported something in the data analysis, but while recommending or giving a summary, we by mistake or by you can say casual approach, sometimes they come at that they are found inconsistent. I mean, we have said something different or inaccurate. So that in that sometimes in the thesis, the examiners also points out. So we should be logically sound. Logically, that proper ordering of reporting. Like very simple, that you state the hypothesis and after that objectives. Anybody will criticize it. So logically, that presentation, everything, how we do, those are the principles that we follow. And consistent result, starting from all. So consistency will refer to that something that has been quoted in the review and other. You may find contradictory result. That is fine, that one, because it happens. Because that will compare also later on, along with the what review said. But inconsistency within the thesis reporting should not be there. And that we do by also by validating, comparing with existing knowledge or replicating knowledge. So in that case, if we find some findings which are different to the review or to other studies, we do state that this is the study, this is the finding. And if at all required for further research, you can give in the suggestions also. If any replication or further requirement of that is required. Okay. So these are the certain steps where we can, because if the procedural aspects, reporting, everything goes well, the validity, reliability, then automatically the research quality will be there. Then prepare, it's continuous, it's the third slide on means for enhancing quality. Preparing the report, where provide a detailed description of the research methods, procedures, results to ensure transparency and reproducibility. That's related to publishing in journals, article. If it's something good it's always advisable that you can publish your findings in newspaper. Those who are referring to Times of India, you find the Tuesday and Thursday edition. You find some kind of research related report every in this issue. Most of this issue will find it. Many a time, because normally newspaper we overlook, but they are very, very latest and they are very useful in review and other. So what I'm trying to say that something that we found we can publish in the newspaper first. It may not be considered as a research paper, but it has a larger reach in academic that will carry weightage that also. So that is, I mean, you can reproducibility can be possible through these journals, magazines, newspapers, and the whole publication of the thesis. You get funding also for that, publication of thesis from ICSS or some other bodies, if going for that. Otherwise, even if doing on your own also, there are pre-publications who they publish. So that's how we make the findings relevant for policymakers, practitioners, future researchers also. They are benefited and other. And ultimately, for your own academic professional development, that is for the credit. The marks is there for books, for book publishing, isn't it? Then referencing. Many times we make most mistakes made in referencing are inconsistency in the bibliography. We do not follow the same pattern another. The style can be different whether you are using MLA style or APA style or Vancouver style or Harvard style, whatever. But follow the single style in all. And within single style also we make sometimes differently. And particularly in doctoral research, these things also matter particularly. And we do not to have any very good bibliographic this. And I think you know this reference and bibliography difference. Reference are that we quote inside in-text reference. And those author's name, title, where the source, those are given come in the bibliography. In other words, bibliography contains the references. It is the collection of the references. So, and maintain that they are maintaining uniformity, accuracy, and completeness. There is also at the end, if you have time for this, how to present briefly toward the end. So later on we'll see that. Then dissemination of findings, publish research outcomes in newspaper daily, journal, book, conference proceedings. Yes, this you know, no need of explanation. Conference proceedings for you wider reach. Now, this is the second part now coming. Academic writing. Academic writing will not, it will contribute to research. It's part of that research, but not always. When we write an essay, some article, theoretical article, it may not be related to research. But it does contribute to our academic or professional development. So it is a formal style of writing used in academic institutions or for scholarly publications. For what? To communicate ideas, evidence, research findings in particular knowledge domain. So academic writing can have research findings. It may not also. But research journals, when you say, it certainly has the research findings. So therefore we call a research paper. Otherwise you call article or theoretical paper. So that makes the difference, article and research paper. So when we follow particular procedure, sincerity, fulfill certain criteria to make a good academic writing, then those are the considerations for academic writing, isn't it? Now, it aims to, academic writing aims to bring out clarity, precision, and objectivity in writing. Precision, that good quality, or in a very presentable form, and objectivity in writing, which is free from biasness, so that it can it can be very critical, but not biased, so that readers find the content easy, understandable, and useful. So unless some literary writing, fiction, or something where the difficulty or technical words are there, otherwise the content can be easy, understandable, and useful. Ultimately, why do we write? It is for somebody else. As much as reachability is there. So as much as it is easy, simple, more people will be able to read it. So unless that demand is there for in say English literature and other. That's different. Otherwise, it should be the content should be presentable, simple, understandable, and usable. So it will involve everything: grammatical avoidance of grammatical mistake, proper punctuation, then your sentence structure and other. Those are the literary part. So what else in academic writing? So now means for improving the quality in academic writing. Earlier part we discussed about the means for improving the research quality. Now these are the means for improving quality in academic writing. So it's a formal and procedural approach in writing and which avoids casual language and contractions. Casual language means we're not very serious or there are mistakes in that. Mean we are not serious in that writing. Or contractions related to that, we are using contraction mean we are using a very colloquial form. Like this day we'll write forever. So four in digital form and ever. Then sometimes we write the abbreviated form. And then when we write fast, we have not given the extended form. So how not, we cannot assume in that everybody will be knowing that terminology. So if you are writing about SMART SMART objectives, SMART SMART, when you write the part SMART, in the bracket, you need to write that. Later on, as many as you write, SMART no issue. So in thesis or any other writing, when we use first time the abbreviated form, we need to give the expanded form also in the bracket. And then in thesis, if so many abbreviations have been used, then in the beginning pages, we can have list of abbreviations and all these abbreviation and their expanded form. It is advisable to give that. If 2, 4, 8, 10 abbreviations are there, may not give. But suppose 20, 25 abbreviations, 30, 40 are there. It is advisable that we add a page before to the contents on list of abbreviations in the thesis. Then objective stance. Then avoid personal opinion and use third person approach in language. The research reported, that's the example. Like what we mean here, objective stance is that, like for journalism, there has its own language. For student, we write their own language, academic writing own language. Similarly, for research, it has its own language. Research has its own language. It does not come all of a sudden. By hours of you're doing a master thesis, doing PhD, gradually it will develop. So what we do, we use the third person language in the form of English, in the form of that's English presentation or any other writing, even in Hindi or any vernacular language. So this means that I found that I feel that like that are not the research language. Always you have to write that the researcher found that even if you are doing, the investigator observed that, the investigator experimented. You will not write I. There is no place of I or we. Suppose project 2-3 persons doing. Then there is no place of like I, we. It will be always in that. The researchers, the investigators, or the investigator found, reported throughout the thesis or research proposal has to be presented in that form. Then precise language, use specific and accurate terminology relevant to the academic field. One, I have mentioned that abbreviated form. Now, accurate terminology. Many a time, the terminologies that we use in, because every discipline has its own terminology and other. And those may not be, may be understood differently by different people. So, we need to give in abbreviated form, expanded form, and also give the accurate terminology, not dilated one like that. So many terminology we do use in research and other. Like for example, in psychology or management field, behavioral science, FOMO. Suppose you are using a terminology FOMO. How many people will be knowing about FOMO? It is like fear of missing object. Fear of missing object, FOMO. And FOMO factor is these days are there. And the most FOMO factor is these days is mobile. We just get restless whenever we do not find our mobile phone or if it is lost. Like that in many other fields. Then logical structure. Organize information in a logical and coherent manner using clear transitions and heading. So this is very important, particularly in research as well in others. Now, how should I proceed? Which point, at what point will be the review of literature? At the end, what should be there? Conclusion, policy recommendations. After policy recommendation, we cannot give conclusion. We first write methodology, then a review of literature. It cannot be. So it goes in particular sequence. So that is the logical presentation and coherent manner. I mean, linkages have been established, consistency has been there, and clear transitions. I mean, somebody, the reader, finding it smooth transition. Like as you page to page we turn off in reading a book. Similarly, heading. So headings, I think this you know that if you are getting your heading point 1, the subheadings we make 1.1 or the subheading 1.1.1. That's what I mean. That helps us to establish the linkage. This is related to this. So it can happen in research paper, thesis, research proposal, as well as in academic writing. Continuity of that improving accompanying writing. Then evidence-based arguments. Support claims with evidence from research, data, or scholarly sources. Mean something when we report, it should be supported with the evidence, data, where? And that also we put it in by author and year in particular form. So the support, not necessarily always research, yes, in other articles or other thing also we can give. So therefore, many more this when we introduce a topic, introduction, there also we quote, isn't it? And then the source goes to the bibliograph. So evidence-based arguments or your presentation, supporting with the data. Then conciseness and clarity, communicate idea effectively and concisely, avoiding unnecessary jargon, special word related to field, which is not understood by others, or repetition. Many of them, when they are say like in healthcare field and other medical terminology, we will not be able. So those things can be alternate words can be there or some explanation can be there to help bring out clarity in others. Proper citation, that's part of how we put it in the referencing, in text references. Because, and that's one way for the reader. The other way is that at the same time, we give the credit to other researchers. Mean somebody you are citing, mean you are helping also that, you are quoting that, so that the other persons these days through ICT knows that it has been quoted there through publication and other. So the original author or researcher also gets the benefit if proper citation is there. Like in a research paper or conference paper, we do write that keywords. So what for that? Through that, the search result comes. So proper citation, avoid plagiarism, use paraphrasing present in your own language. So later on, some example is there. I'll show you. So because now this is a big problem that when you get more than 10% of plagiarized material, it will not be accepted. So you need to do the paraphrasing. So From the very beginning, if you take care, then automatically this plagiarism aspect will come down and it will be in a acceptable form. So in plagiarism, now sometime whole thesis from introduction, title to the bibliography, people give the content in to by mail or that in the saving device to run for plagiarism. So automatically it will be high. Whereas you do not need to put it bibliography in that or the introduction content in that, because those words will be repeated and increase your chances of getting plagiarized. So what you require is your main content, not even summary. Summary will be repetition. So from introduction to your that last conclusions and some conclusions, that is data analysis conclusion, whatever that chapter, 5th, 6th, whatever. That's the main thing that you need to give to the plagiarism, to check the plagiarism. Because this has been become an essential component. And I think earlier it was Urkund by UGC. Now it is, I think, drill bit by UGC, which has been accepted. Drill bit software. I think your university also will be having that. And it is available in library and free also. So this is how we improve upon academic writing, which also enhance our quality presentation and bring out excellence in research. Now, these are the types of academic writing. I think not much this one is required here. Like research paper. It presents, what they mean, it presents original research findings, including methodology, results, and discussion. We do write introduction, and these are some important components, that how the study was conducted, methodology, including sample, tools, and other. The findings, results, implication, analysis, discussion, and implications, how it is going to policy measure, how it is going to help contribute to the societal development. Now, that's also in research paper and research thesis, both. Now, essay. Essay is something where it explores a particular topic in breadth and length, offering an argument or analysis supported by evidence. So here, the quotation or the research data, not compulsory here in essay. It can be any type of data support where we write the essays. It can be from the research, conducted research. It can be from any source, article, or any type of data, quantitative or qualitative. Because it is something that theoretical presentation is there in the research based on particular topic. Then literature review, it analyzes and summarizes existing research on a specific topic. Little more is on their literature reviews, as I have told you. So we'll discuss therein about literature review. Then book reviews. Book reviews, it is like not a research journal, but book review of any type. The book can be based on research also, again, thesis, or theoretical book where we evaluate and critique the content of the book and scholarly work. And then that review we present in the journal. That also carries weightage, actually, a book review, because it takes a lot of time while you study the whole big book and make a review. And that review is not reporting. Reporting is not review. Means you are contributing your own criticism and your own appreciation, your own viewpoints added to it. And normally book review we do by chapter, unless a book doesn't have the chapter, like novel and other thing. So if a book has chapters, we do the review chapter by chapter. So that's again require quality academic writing. So this is the type of academic writing as well. Then grant proposals. we are more concerned about the first and last one, of course, as a researcher. Grant proposals. So in academic setting, we have two types of researches. That is, from our operational point of view, you can say a degree-oriented research means master thesis, MA Sociology, Master of Education, MA Psychology that we do is a master thesis, or doctoral studies in social science, research, in any science, even including physical science, healthcare science, and other, everywhere. So the research proposals are the grant that we put up. So research proposal for our own PhD research, that is the degree oriented. There we do not have much time. And UGC rule, you know, it is 3 to 6 years. 3-year minimum, maximum the 6 years. For female, it is 7 years, 1 year more. By default, that is, automatically you get that time for submission. But we try to do it when we do individually for complete in a 3 years or maximum 4 years. But grant proposals, depending upon the nature of research, it can continue 5 years, 6 years also, because somebody is funding that. And for grant proposal, it can be huge prescribed format. Like since we have this Vikasit Bharat came in, I think so far 2 times this Vikasit Bharat projects, a lot of areas encompassing this transacting to many other fields. Social science, education, psychology, behavioral science, language, literature, all fields, various domains have been identified by CSSR and they publish and asked to submit the research proposals. And it will come again also. This thing will continue. And they provide funding for the research from, I think that's from up to maximum 25 lakhs in that, because it's Bharat. It's not only one, there are many other research projects. So we do write research. So in that, what we look for? Funding for research project, we follow the format and write projects, goals, methods, impact, and of course the budget plan. Because when we seeking grant, budget plan will be there. So in budget plan, you have to be realistic. What mistake we do in writing research proposal is, suppose 25 lakhs is the maximum limit. We prepare a proposal and we enhance the budget and other thing and write 25 lakhs or exceed that one, so that I get the full. We have to be realistic. Actually, what exactly is required from the research, then there is a likelihood of being granted. Otherwise, the reviewer of that project in the body, the reviewer body of this scientific research organizations, they may say that they are just inflated and other. They may sometime without going proposal may discard. So from grant proposal, not only the flow, accuracy, relevance, presentation in the proposal, but also the proposal being realistic in terms of time and the budget. Those are also important for grant proposals. So these are the different types of this areas where our academic writing is involved. Okay, now next is tips for improving academic writing.
So there are a few questions in the chat box. You would like to answer them right now, or shall we take it up at the end of the session, sir?
I think end of the session will be okay.
All right,
End of
sir.
session.
As you say, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that we have a very better
Yes.
discussion. So tips for improving academic writing. That is the develop strong understanding of the subject, because unless we know the subject area content thoroughly, then how do we write? So that's the thing. Read widely. Reading widely means it's not only that which is concerned with us. Like if we belong to a particular discipline, say sociology, we'll be studying on sociology only. It can be any field which concerns us. I mean, daily reading of newspaper, article, and these days it has been much more easier because of smart mobile phone to utilize our time for wide reading while in train, while in travel, so many things. It can be simply reading news. Sometimes you may find some research findings there itself. So read wisely, practice regularly, that is write regularly to improve your skills and develop a more natural setting. This is the concerns where because of ICT, mobile and other thing, we lack in that handwriting skills. Because we keep on typing or copy paste and other. So this is seriously affecting that one about writing style and other. But somewhere or so we do need to write, and wherever it is required, there is no harm in writing by hand, actually. And particularly as teachers, these days, these continuous assessments and other they are. I think many of you may be doing also. Otherwise, try to take the handwritten assignments, handwritten case studies, handwritten term papers, etc. from the students as part of continuous assessment. Maybe you may be taking that automatically also sometime because that's good. So that by that they learn and they understand. Because it says that 5 time reading is 1 time writing. Apart from developing the writing skills. And moreover, they have the skill for giving graphic presentation, pictures by hand drawing and other. Of course, many projects also do another. But normally they will ask that can I submit it in digital form, Word file, like that they ask. And also those who have submitted assignment, term papers, other thing in handwriting. There is no harm in getting 1 mark, 2 mark, as you feel, more than somebody who has done by digital writing. If you announce beforehand, students will be encouraged to do that. And there is no harm, you are helping them. So I think that can be done because that's the one tip for writing, academic writing, to help others in writing or developing writing skills. Seek feedback, ask for feedback from professors, content writer, peers. We do give our writing, article, research papers to others to have a review. Take their suggestions and improve. That we do, but many times because of our sometimes skip also, but it is even our who are accessible to us more, peer group, our own colleagues. Use style guides, consult the prescribed style guides, like APS style, that is American Psychological Association, MLA, that is for language, Chicago style, there is Harvard style, Vancouver also. Many of you, if you are aware, this is one of the best encyclopedia in education. That is your Pergamon Press encyclopedia. More than 20 volumes it comes. And that is by, follows the Harvard style actually in that. So this we have discussed, this should be a particular style and uniformity. Okay, some sound coming, somebody. Okay, now this I had talked about earlier. Writing literature review. That this is also this major thing that we help literature review. It's not only that you find some studies or that will do it. That is the prime goal, that to find what kind of studies has been there. But by that,
Sushma Prasad ji, kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
okay. So that to know what other researchers talk about those variables or the group of variables. Okay. That's the primary one. Then, but apart from that, to find the research gaps on explored areas. the areas where studies have not been conducted. And related to the first slide, even there have been studies, but they have been so much old or they do not carry relevance today. The earlier finding. That also you can do a research. So if a study has already been conducted, but relevance is not there today, and we do need to report on that, something new. So that is also type of research. So that can also be called a research gap. Then to formulate hypothesis, yes. But now, not all hypotheses can be based on review of literature. Review of literature, yes, but there can be many more hypotheses based on your own experience, exposure, where you set up null hypothesis. You need to explore something new. So, hypothesis set up something beyond literature review on your own. Then to strengthen the theoretical understanding of the problem. This is the indirect one by default. When you make the review, automatically you will get some enhanced knowledge, and that you can utilize in writing your introduction. So the tip here is that when you are making the review, only reporting that part of the review or keeping in your saving device, or if you are writing, do save that also, provided it is related to your topic or the problem, because you need to write an introduction also, which is the theoretical understanding of the problem based on what have been there in the knowledge field in that area. So for that also the review helps. Now these are the sources where we get the review: journals, encyclopedias. Actually, not always we get or have the reachability to journals, but encyclopedia at what actually? Encyclopedia combination of theoretical articles can be there, like Encyclopedia of Educational Technology. But in all this are also the research studies quoted, whatever encyclopedia are there. So easily you can, number of studies you can get from the encyclopedias. They are the reservoir of knowledge. And these days we have that Wikipedia that you get. That is a form of encyclopedia only. But Wikipedia is free and not reliable actually, that one. You get that, you can use that, but do verify at your own risk, that one, when reporting in the research. Then research abstracts volume. Only research findings are, only abstracts are published. Like dissertation abstracts international, published by the ProQuest. Only the abstracts you get there. But that's a very good source of getting the review actually. In other words, you do not get the full article, but it helps for your review. Seminar conference reports, I think many papers are presented there. So abstracts you get. Original thesis, which you get in your library. The earlier study that had been conducted. Or from Sodhganga and other, from InfluNet, in digital form. Those are also original theses, because original theses go there. And if you are able to get that, that will be all under original thesis only. Only thing is that library that you get is hardbound physical form, and that is digital form. That makes the difference. Otherwise, both are original theses. Published books on research. Yes, sometimes some we get in the library, which are the research books. So that make it different from the textbooks actually. Newspaper report on research, we have discussed. And all this in the form of online sources that you get. All these things we are available. The databases are there for online sources, whether it is eBrary or ProQuest, EBSCO, then Springer. So many are there, I think, that you better know all this. Now, this is the thing that here, why I have included writing review. You might have come across different way of writing. Now, one is author at the beginning. So you got the content, you are presenting in the review. Say in chapter 2 or part of introduction as you have done. Mostly in chapter 2 that we write review. Now you see this study that follows the APA style of in-text referencing, of course. So Spiegelman 2007, in his study of psychological adjustment and life so and so, he has reported and given the findings. Okay. So here it is the author at the beginning. Perfect. But many a time what we do, because all reviews presented in author at the beginning. For master thesis, you can say, okay. But if at PhD level, you have not adopted some flexibility or breaking the monotony, then here the little quality or that at the research rigor that will not come. Now, what is the next one? We'll see how it can be presented. See, author in the middle. Same thing. In a study of psychological adjustment and life satisfaction of Latino college students, Spiegelman 2007 found that bicultural individuals reported so and so. So, middle it came, author in the middle. Now, author at the end. Whole thing presented at the end within bracket. Spiegelman 2007. A study of psychological adjustment and life satisfaction so and so. Now, these three are the main thing that you'll find in the literature. So at least for the PhD level, adopt a flexibility approach, sometimes at the beginning, sometimes in the middle, sometimes at the end. So what is the benefit of this? First of all, it will break the monotony of your presentation. The reader, it will give a good looking and also motivated. The third most important, your examiner will see this when you see this way, he or she will be impressed. It will be in his or her mind that, yes, this researcher knows how to write review. And these styles. Between this thing, the third one, the bracketing style is different, you see. This one. Here you see. Name and within bracket, you get the year. In this, author and the year in the bracket. So keep on presenting in flexibility form till you end. So benefits I explained you this one. This will help us for making a good review. And then this is practice. You see this example. What we do normally, that suppose I get a study. This is the original one, quoted one. This is the original one taken. The use of small group discussion to improve student speaking skill. Authors are given. And then two authors from Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Okay. In that language is Universitas Teknokrat Bahasa. Bahasa is the Indonesia language. So as it is taken, normally what we do, like this portion relates to my study. And as it is, हम वो पेस्ट कर देते हैं उसमें. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वो ऑथर ईयर को डाल के कर देते हैं. But doesn't serve the purpose. वो पेजेस बढ़ते रहते हैं. तो उसको हम पैराफ्रेजिंग किए. Study by so and so, ये जो लिया उसमें सरनेम से, was directed to see how students are this and reflected. देखो इतना 5 लाइन में हो गया होगा उसका. This way, paraphrasing. अब इसमें तो chances of plagiarism will come more. इसमें ऑलमोस्ट बहुत कम आएगा, या वो एक्सेप्टेबल के अंदर ही आएगा. कभी भी 10% से ज्यादा नहीं होगा. ये तो बिलो 5% आएगा. मीन इसी का ही बात कर रहा हूँ. अगर हो तो दिस वे इफ वी डू, then we need to do in this way that we adopt the format and then present usme ki the study. Sometimes it can be bigger also wherever, because it depends upon the how much data you are getting. If you are getting from the journal, you'll get the sampling, methodology, everything. But suppose you are getting from an abstract, so abstract you will not get much more. It will be very little. And abstract sometime will help you in a more better way. वो प्रेजेंट में इजी रहता है एक्चुअली, क्योंकि एक ऑलरेडी पार्ट इज डन ऑलरेडी उसमें, वो डिटेल है उसमें, तो देयर यू हैव टू डू द पैराफ्रेजिंग. सो दिस वे जब हम फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग वी गो अहेड taking care of, automatically helps us actually. This is one more example. Collaboration is a strategy promoting quality in education possibility and barriers. This way, so whole thing rather than this insight is given page 3 and other. So author, year, and this. So this I am just for example taken, but whereas the full paper, everything is there, author, everything in the paper. And so the purpose here is presenting this is that what happens whenever you have all whole research paper, how many research paper full you will study? Let us be operational point of view, practical point of view. हम अभी जाएंगे लाइब्रेरी, पूरे तो पढ़ नहीं पाएंगे ना, वो निकल जाएगा टाइम. हम देखते हैं कि कौन सी पार्ट है जो मेरे रिव्यू को रिलेट करता है, तो उस पार्ट को फिर हम ये पेस्ट करते हैं या फिर वो ले लेते हैं अलग सा. उसके बाद देन वी स्टार्ट पैराफ्रेजिंग फ्रॉम दैट पार्ट फॉर आवर रिसर्च प्रपोजल और थीसिस. सो दिस वे we can minimize even the plagiarism also, apart from presenting in a logical way and proper form. In referencing that your that one, what we sometimes we make mistakes here also in while we do in review now, because you'll be using your own language, particularly जो beginning है, or in paraphrasing. So in research language, I have already talked to you. So you can write the researcher found that, observed that, noted that, revealed, pointed out, highlighted upon, justified, identified, documented. Here you do not write the researcher stated that, researcher felt that, and other, because we are concerned with the finding and other. So this way, the action verb for writing in-text review. Use the proper action verbs also. Now this is the last part where you referencing a must in text review. So insight like this. Let me go to this. Suppose, yeah, this is the in-text referencing in-text, this one, and the author full journal is there. Now that one, how you are going to present this? We don't know which is male, INSCO, he is from University of Manchester, but where? What are the study? What are the title? That we present in the bibliography, isn't it? So how to present that bibliography? You follow a particular style, this one. So briefly, I think you can, many of you may be knowing, but this one by the original source. This is from APA style, like Spiegelman 2000. This is by the original source. Suppose you get it from the as it is book from this as a book that from the George Mason University published. So as it is, you will quote it by this APA style. But suppose same book you got from some other source, how you will write it? Spiegelman C 2007, psychological adjustment so and so in. Then you put the colon, and you got this study from International Encyclopedia of Education. Then you write in italics from this Pergamon place. Okay. So this way, you can put it in the referencing. Or suppose you got it from the website, eric.com. Same one, eric.com, accessed on so and so. जिस दिन का आज किया तो आज की डेट आएगा उसमें. So the date you access it, that has to be put it in this. And these are the different style, book by one author. Same thing, you take this APA style, we put it up. In Harvard style, you know, these dots are not there, full stop are not there in there. They are just gap only in Harvard style. In some cases, you find colon here, in some. But in APA style, this one, this way, in this place of the name, this is the publisher. 2, you have to write both this. And in case of article in an edited book, like in edited book. So first author name, then the book edition will come here. Within bracket it, this is the study. And then from which page another, whatever you get it, published by London. So by one author, two author, article in edited book. Mean inside that article that will come first. An article in a journal. Crackton P, 1987. And then this is the journal name, Canadian Sun, 64/7, 34, 37. Now this earlier style, 64 is the volume, VOL 64, 7 is the number, NO, number 7, then PP, 34, 37. जहाँ पे more than one page, PP लिखते हैं, PP, 34, 37. या अगर एक पेज है तो P, 34. But that has been outdated these days. Automatically reader will know means this 64 bracket 7 means volume number 64, page number 7. Sorry, number 7, issue number 7. And these are the pages. These are the modern day. No need of writing volume, PP, P, NO, no, number, not necessary. This way it will take care. Article in weekly magazine. Here is this is the magazine. So date is given. April 19, bracket. Apart from the year. Making the grade in today's school. Now, this is the Time magazine taken. Volume number 135, page this. Then article in newspaper. Wrong man. Never gonna give you up. The article title is there. Then in general, I say mayors. It says, it is by the mayor. That author is this one. Mayor quoted it. Where? In Toronto Solution. In page number 4. Which is the newspaper. So this gives the complete reference and published on August 17, 2005. And for your information, this title, that one there, I have not taken from this as it is, it's original from APA style, that one. Example that has been given. Then internet article based on a print source. I mean, you are getting the article, but from a print source. Print source means it is published, but you have not got the journal physically, but from the internet. So in that case, detective work and those, Journal of Pointless Research, then volume number 11, page, retrieved to and date, from, then you give this source of this link. That is the where you got it. Then standalone internet document, no author identified. ये काफी बार आता है ये problem. Standalone internet document, no author, nothing. You are not able to find. You find something in the internet very, very relevant. You just can't avoid. So how to code that? No author, कुछ भी नहीं मिला उसका. What I did today. और title आ गया. ND. ND means here, not New Delhi. ND is here, no date. No date. Then retrieved October 25, so and so, from. Then give the site, pura ke pura. That this part you can copy from the link. Then movie, particularly in field like journalism, social science. This producer, you see, it's coming to end now. Movie, producer and director, quoting a movie. Personal communication, like letter, other thing. E. Robbins, because there, here the year is at the end. E. Robbins, personal communication, this. But if you make E. Robbins 2001 here to have the uniform style, there is also no problem. Personal communication. Now, the question is here is that adopt the uniformity in the style, uniform language. Sometimes many book thesis you will find APA style in a diluted form. No problem if you do that, but maintain the uniformity. For example, like in place of after bracket putting a dot, in some you'll find putting a column. two column. Then put the column everywhere. Sometime dot, sometime column, sometime nothing, only gap. That will invite criticism. You'll be asked questions. So maintain the uniformity. Although, what I'm trying to say, although not fully 100% APA style is there, some dilution is there, still it's okay, but maintain the uniformity across the whole bibliography. And as you quote in the in-text reference. In-text reference details will come in the bibliography, which you present in the order of alphabetical form. And review of literature in chronological form. So these are some basic things that they are now. Here also asked that how many bibliographies should be there. It's there in a hard fast rule. It can be 10 also. Things were not available, right? And something new was done. Or it can be 50. Main thing is that research has its own language. And research is something that at every point of time you need to justify. इन योर थेसिस, अगर आपके थेसिस में स्टार्टिंग से एंड तक जहां पे भी ये जरूरत है और उधर व्हाई एवरीथिंग वो आप क्वेश्चन के आंसर की व्हाई की जवाब देते तो वो थीसिस जो एग्जामिनर आल्सो विल बी इंप्रेस्ड और बहुत ही लेस क्वेश्चंस होगा उसमें फॉर दैट वन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट व्हिच रिसर्चर्स मेक मिस्टेक some in-text reference is given कि the author title और वही चीज ये एंड बिब्लियोग्राफी में नहीं होता है और जो एग्जामिनर है वो पहले ही इट्स वेरी इजी टू फाइंड वो देख लेता है अल्फाबेटिकली अरेंज है कि यहाँ तो वो है ही नहीं वो लिख के लाता है एग्जामिनर कि यू हैव कोटेड दिस बट व्हाई हैव यू नॉट पुट इट इन द बिब्लियोग्राफी मींस ही द एग्जामिनर इज आस्किंग यू दैट यू हैव जस्ट कोटेड इट फॉर द सेक ऑफ दिस वो फॉलो नहीं किया है तो इसमें जैसे ऑप्शंस तो दिया हुआ है ना जहां पे नहीं है सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इफ यू हैव गिवन इन टेक्स्ट रेफरेंस समथिंग इट मस्ट फाइंड ए प्लेस कंपल्सरीली इन द बिब्लियोग्राफी एटलीस्ट पीएचडी लेवल में तो होनी है ये एंश्योर करना कि वो जो बिब्लियोग्राफी में प्लेस है उसका डॉक्यूमेंट है उसमें क्योंकि उसी ऑर्डर में वो जाके वो चेक कर लेंगे उसमें सो दैट इज द लिंक ऑफ दिस इंटरेक्ट रेफरेंसेस एंड दिस आल्सो सो आई थिंक दिस इज नाउ ओवर फ्रॉम this important aspect of research, academic writing and other. Now I think we can attend questions.
Shall we take question answers?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Mr. Dheeraj Kumar is asking, what are the major differences between review and critical review? And what are the important factors of critical review?
Yeah, okay. Now, critical review is that we, just review is that we, as you mentioned, that we refer a journal, a book or anything. We find something relevant and we just quoted it. But after that, when we make the critical review, 1, 2 review, similar field you will gain 2, 3 reviews also. Sometime 2 or 3 you may find contradictions also or similarities also. So after that, when we repute that yes, these authors, they have that found the similar kind of result, or author so and so and author so and so have some contradictory findings, then you are making a critical review. And that's a very good question, and that is how a review should be there actually. Then in this context, one important thing, particularly for doctoral studies, after having conducted the whole review and reporting in the chapter, never forget to put a conclusion. What kind of conclusion you are deriving from that review, and link it to your study. That this is the research gap, and this way this study has its relevance. So conclusion of the review at the end must that one. So critical review during presentation and at the end also you can give that. That concluding may not be very much lengthy. It can be just one para also. But it will give a very good impression for the examiner if you are giving a conclusion of the review. Because many a time conclusions are not given. We have seen this is. So it is advisable to do that.
I hope it is clear to Mr. Dheeraj Kumar. And
Yeah.
one more question by sir also. Sometimes results are negative in
Yes, ma'am.
experiment.
Very nice. Very nicely, sir replied. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you and all.
You can continue your next question, Dheeraj Kumar. Sir?
My question is, last question was that we are conducting the experimental research, and we doing some intervention through the modules,
Yeah.
teaching modules, lecture, anything else. But sometimes we get the negative results in our experimental study, and when we present our study as experiment study findings and results, uh, the the review committee or expert committee said that your findings and results are negative throughout the process. So sometimes they are said that these are findings are not feasible the study. There is any criteria the results should come always positive in the experimental study?
No, it's not. So I'll elaborate on that actually. Let me admit somebody. Okay. So now I'll start from one experience also, which I have come here, that sometime when we set hypothesis will be, when we test the hypothesis, either it is accepted or rejected. It cannot be said that partially accepted or partially rejected. No. And you do not commit that mistake. Either it is yes or no, accepted or rejected. So that's one thing. Then based on that, one student, actually, that was for a master's thesis, one asked, sir, all my hypotheses are getting rejected. Does it mean that my thesis will be rejected? Like that. So he was in the concern that all hypotheses get rejected. So his thesis will be rejected. So I will not be able to pass. That kind of concerns the student was expressing. So I told him that no, it's not. It can be accepted, it can be rejected. The question is that how you are able to defend. And as you have asked the question actually, that one, that there could be contradictory result. It can be. But now with your data and your findings and your statistical analysis or your theoretical analysis, if it is a qualitative study, that you have to be justify that your result is accurate. You had a very good sample. You had a representative sample. The methodology has sound another. But this is therefore, so this way, this study that we find is equally good. If it is contradicting, do mention, do contradict it. There is no need of changing or manipulation. Do report that what exactly found and justify that. And even during presentation, maybe some people will like your conviction that you are presenting a contradictory finding. It is not necessary that something you are doing that. It is not necessary that you are wrong. Maybe the earlier person was wrong. So try to say that, yes, I am correct, the earlier person is wrong. That will strengthen your viewpoint actually. It happens, that's in research actually. And as regards the hypothesis, it can come either way. It may give a contradictory height. But that's why that open defense comes now, that one, that for presentation in this. So, and therefore sufficient size, sample, representativeness, all this that taken care. So, point, in other words, very precisely to defend than it. Because that's the rigor, or that is the spirit of researcher that you need to maintain. That will be my answer to that.
Thank you so much, sir. Sakina, if you are there, you can ask the question.
Anybody?
Sakina, if you are present, you can ask the question directly.
Ma'am, I have written my question. Please, you forward.
Hello.
जी सर.
हाँ.
Sir,
You have
namaskar.
written.
Sir.
I have not opened chat box. हाँ, you can recheck.
Sir, my voice is okay, sir.
You ask.
हाँ सर, नमस्कार.
Yes,
Sir.
you're audible.
या सर. मैम, सर मैंने कई रिसर्च किए हैं जिनमें एक्शन रिसर्चेज मैंने कई किए हैं, तो उसके लिए मैंने इंटरव्यू बेस पे क्वेश्चन किए हैं, और जब भी रिसर्च पेपर लिखे हैं तो वो डिस्क्रिप्टिव वे में लिखे हैं. तो क्या इससे इनको अच्छा कैसे बनाया जा सकता है सर, इन दोनों के अलावा, इंटरव्यू और डिस्क्रिप्शन के अलावा?
इंटरव्यू के हिसाब से आपने एनालिसिस किया हुआ है?
या सर, एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया के लिए एक्शन रिसर्च किए, जिनमें सर्वे मेथड और इंटरव्यू मेथड दोनों यूज लिया.
ओके. तो उसके जो राइटिंग है, एक तो डेफिनेटली आपके रिव्यू की सपोर्ट रहेगा उसमें. तो जो
या.
रिव्यू आपने किया हुआ है उसके सपोर्ट पे कि ये आपकी जो भी फाइंडिंग्स है उसमें कौन कौन सी स्टडीज है जो इसको सपोर्ट करते हैं, एंड इट सिमिलर रिजल्ट्स हैव बीन फाउंड विथ सो एंड सो करके जो इंटेक्ट रिव्यू, वो
जी.
देके आप रैंक कर सकते हो उसमें. और कोई एक आधी कंट्राडिक्टरी है, दैट आल्सो यू कैन रिपोर्ट, एंड दैट्स हाउ वी present our research result that way. Okay.
जी सर.
So that we have to do, because here you do not have any quantitative analysis कि हम ये significant है नहीं significant है. So
जी.
it is by that logical analysis and strength of your review that you can present in a very acceptable way. Yes.
जी जी. Thank you, sir. I will try to best my in future.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I hope it is clear to you.
Yeah, ma'am. It is very
Any
clear.
other question? Thank you so much. Any other participant, if you have any question, you can directly ask. Sir, we can move for ahead.
Ma'am, please share chat box feedback link.
Yeah, we have already shared and we will share again. So
Yes, ma'am.
moving ahead, now I would like to invite Professor P.C. Jena, School Coordinator, School of Education, K.R. Mangalam University, for the vote of thanks.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
So thank you, ma'am. It is my true pleasure and a great honor for me to nominate my name for the vote of thanks. So far as the today's session, excellence in research and academic writing, it was very informative, and sir, I have learned lot of things from education. Definitely, it is just like a piece of writing for each and every researcher, and for those who are first time supervising the students. And sir, you have focused the significance of research and understanding research, understand research excellence means for enhancing academic writings. So it will be very, very important for each and every participant for further future. And moreover, this hello.
It's audible.
It's audible, sir?
Yes.
And definitely, on behalf of School of Education and our MOU partner, CTPD, and we are thankful to you. And I hope each and every participant will use your views, suggestion, recommendation for guiding our students or for making research qualitatively. And definitely, it is a piece of lesson for each and everybody. Thank you, sir, for our invitation and for your busy schedule. You accept our invitation and share your views in this platform.
I am also thankful to each and every participant, those who are associated in different part of our country. I am also thankful to all our MU partners, Sanjay sir, Richa ma'am, and our organizing team member of SOD, Dean madam. And I am also thankful for our technical teams. And last not least, I am also thankful for our leadership team for guiding us and supporting us to organizing such type of events. And I hope this type of events will be organized in future, taking into account each and every aspects of to make research qualitatively. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all the participants. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. So can we end the session?
Yeah, sure.
Participants can fill the feedback form. Feedback form is already posted in the chat box and on YouTube channel also. Thank you so much for joining the today's session.